Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming. I would like to call to order the Whittingham Homeowners Association open workshop meeting for Tuesday, April 21st, 2025. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty, and justice for all. Okay, Matt, would you please give a roll call, please?
I would love to. Wow, this one's loud. Tom Clark,
Here.
Jay Respler,
Yeah.
Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Kathy Clark and Gleason, Joe Atanasio, I do not see. Jeff Simonson, I don't see.
No, not here.
And for management, we have myself, we have Kristen Pariza, and we have Susie Weingartner with the short last name.
Okay, Matt, while you have the mic, can you give us a management report, please?
Absolutely. I'm going to sit down for this one. A lot of things going on because it's springtime as usual. We have a bunch of gazebo work that's going to be starting actually tomorrow. We got some of the gazebos that are going to get power washed, some repairs made, repainted. That's a project that's been in the works for a while, and it's a good project. Our Whittingham roof project is still underway. We are nearing the end. We have two buildings left to do. 3 Rutland, that building's scheduled for Wednesday, April 23rd. And the last building is 11 Rutland, which hopefully is going to be next week if the weather holds. The board did approve the Whittingham driveway crack filling, sealing, restriping of all the parking areas in the driveways. Waiting on a little bit nicer weather for that. The contractor wants to do it sometime second week of May, right around there. So as soon as we have the date, we'll get all that information pushed out to everybody who lives over there with some instructions. Um, We've done a little bit of work for the restaurant. We had to replace the hot water heater back there. And there's also a room way in the back that had no heat and air conditioning. So we put a simple split system in there, which is heat AC. Seems to be working well. As you can see, it's almost pool season, so we're starting to get ready with the outdoor pool. Um, Aquatic Services is coming in the next week. They're going to drain everything, acid wash it, repaint it. We got some tile work that needs to get replaced out there, some coping that needs to get replaced, and we got a lot of power washing that's going to get done out there, and a few other things that the board's going to be discussing tonight out there to make that a really beautiful place for this summer. We have a little bit of work that's going to get done, some repairs on the floor down by the multi-purpose room. That's scheduled for May 19th. So hopefully we can get those little pieces of tape off the floor and make it look nice. And as you'll see, if you got an agenda, we have a lot of other projects I'm not going to touch on until we kind of review them on our agenda, but a lot of stuff.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Kristen, you have a report?
Yes. So this Saturday, April 26th at 7 p.m., we have the Doobie Others here in the ballroom. There's a limited number of tickets that are left with the concierge. Sunday, April 27th at 1 p.m. in the ballroom, we have a movie, Midnight in the Switchgrass. There's no charge. We ask that you just show up. Wednesday, May 7th, we have a bus trip scheduled to resorts in Atlantic City. The cost is $30 per person, and you will receive $20 back in slot play. Monday, May 19th at 1 p.m., we have a health lecture, Choosing Healthy Alternatives to Managing Pain. There's no charge, but we ask that you sign up with the concierge. Please buy your tickets now for the bus to New York City, the theater district. We have May 21st, July 16th, and September 17th. Sign up as soon as possible so we know that we have enough people participating for the bus to go. Saturday, May 24th at 7 p.m. in the ballroom, we have Vito Pacone and the Elegance. Tickets are $30 each and available now with the concierge. And lastly, our parking lot trunk sale, which is being held Saturday, June 7th. The registration for that will begin Monday, May 5th. The flyers will be available by the end of the week. That's it.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, the next item we have on our report, we're going to have the review of the March 18th, 2025 open workshop meetings. You have those in your packets, so all the members will have a chance to review them, and we'll vote on them at our next meeting. All right, let's move on to new business. Yeah, like Matt said, we do have a lot here tonight. First item is 50A Rutland Drainage and Structural Repairs. We're looking to award a contract to Pardini Construction on this. This project, unfortunately, was in the works long before we even became board members. There's been lots of issues going on with drainage and doing damage to the structure of that particular home. We finally were able to get an engineer's report. We were able to get contractors, and we did some bidding on it. And we were able to select Bardini Construction to do this work. So at the next meeting, we will actually vote on that contract and hopefully give some relief to these homeowners who have been putting up with not great conditions there for a number of years. So, we're anxious to get this done and get it fixed. So that'll be on our next meeting for action with that contract. The next item is the condominium private fencing replacement. Again, this is going to be awarded to Pardini Construction. We did as you know, as part of our capital improvement projects, we're responsible on the condominium side for taking care of the roofs, the privacy fencing that are around the homes, and of course, the siding. We've been able to encumber enough money to take care of the fencing at this point. Some of the fencing's in really bad shape, some of it not so bad. And for a while, the board decided whether or not we should actually just replace some of it, do some more in a later a part of time. But unfortunately, the aesthetics was not going to work. It was not going to look very attractive for the community. So the decision was made to go out for a bid and get the best price we can for the entire community. And we've had a number of negotiations with vendors. We finally got Bardini to bring his number way down, and we're going to move forward with that. It's going to be a vinyl fencing. I know a lot of people like the cedar wood that's there. I do as well. The cost is just out of sight. We cannot replace it with that. It would cost us almost 2.5 times more of what we're actually going to wind up spending. And there are different type of vinyl fencing, again, really expensive. This is what's basically in all the homes that you see being built. Even the Regency has the vinyl fencing. We did spend extra money to make it a two-tone, to make it color coordinated with the particular units that are gray. Some of that are in a tan mode. They will have a tan type fence with a white border going around. We're going to have photographs placed out into the lobby starting tomorrow with samplings of the fencing so you could see what they're all about. And we're excited to get it done. I think it's going to make the Whittingham side very attractive, and it's long overdue. And so we want to move that project. We worked really hard at getting the pricing down, and we're really satisfied that where we are. And we'll give you all the details when we have the contract before us next week. Reconstruction of the pickleball courts 4 and 5. Again, we're going to be awarding a contract to Garden State Pavement Solutions. As you know, those pickleball courts, and I see a lot of pickleball players here, you all know those courts are not in good shape and haven't been for a long period of time. Again, the board and Kathy's taken a major lead on this to make sure that we had the money encumbered. The money was there. We were able to make these capital improvements, bring the facility up to where it should be. They had a committee that was put together. They worked with the pickleball club members as well to make sure that what we were going to do was going to be what the community needed and wanted. And through Kathy's efforts, meeting with everyone and the selected contractor, we've come to that. We've gone through the engineering on this. We've gone through the legal aspects of this. We've, covered all our bases in regards to making sure what we get is the right project at the right price. and it safeguards our community's interest. So that will be on next week for a vote. As you know, this is a workshop. We're just letting you know what we're going to be doing because that's the best way of letting people know how your money's being spent. You have time to prepare and ask questions. So that contract will be on for next week as well. The next item we have is 50B Winthrop Lower Roof Replacement, Biondo Construction. This is a smaller project we're going to be giving Biondo, who's been working on our property for about half a year now. He's doing a fantastic job. We've gotten lots of good reviews from the work that he's done. There was a smaller project that needed to be done, and Matt, I'm going to ask you to give me some of the more details on this particular project.
I mean, this is a lower roof area. It actually did not, it's not the whole building, it's just a lower roof area, similar to what we've had in a couple other instances. Um, when they were originally done, they didn't put the right ice and water shield and underlayment underneath the whole roof. They don't have a lot of pitch to them, so when you do get some driving rains without that stuff underneath the shingles like it should be to keep it watertight, we're getting some leaks. So this is basically ripping everything off, coating everything the way it should be, and doing new shingles. Um, I hate to say we probably expect a few more of these in the future, but now we know how to handle them. It's not an entire roof on the entire building. It's just a lower roof, and it will match up whatever we have there shingle wise.
Okay, all right. Any questions? Okay, let's go on to the next item. So that'll be on next week as well for an approval. The clubhouse parking lot repairs, crack filling, sealing, coating, and striping. We're going to be awarding a contract to Johnson Barron to do that work. Matt, you want to give some details on that?
Yeah, again, we competitive bid for this. Johnson Barron's done a lot of work on and off throughout the community. They pretty much paved all the roads over in Greenbrier. They actually came in about $7,000 cheaper than the next highest bidder, which is Esso Brothers. Now, Esso Brothers has done some work here as well. They gave us a great price for the seal coating over in Whittingham, but not the best price on this parking lot. Parking lot has not been maintained for a very long time. We got a lot of little areas that need to get fixed and patched up, and the cracks. Going to reseal coat everything, restripe everything, so it's going to look beautiful. It's mostly the lower part of the lot, not like the long-term part of the lot up there. So once we have more information on the timing, we're going to have to stage it so we can make sure that everybody can get in and out of here. You can go play golf, all that good stuff. So stay tuned for more information on that once we get a schedule from them.
Okay, so that'll be on next week's meeting for a vote as well. Next item is leasing 14 new cardio machines for the gym under NRG Wellness. As people who may know, who use the facility, most of that equipment that's in the gym is close to 20 years old. And it's really getting to a point where it's not safe. We want to make sure that we actually increase some of the machinery that's there. Because at peak times, there are some people who have to wait to get onto a piece of equipment. So what this will do will give us ability, we're going to lease this equipment. We're not going to purchase it. And what's the benefits of that? Well, number one, we're going to be turning it over. Instead of keeping something that's beat up for 20 years, every 5 years, we'll be rolling it over. We'll be getting up-to-date new equipment. It will be maintained for the 5 years. It will be repaired for the 5 years under the lease agreement. So that means when something unfortunately does break, you won't have a sign they'll saying it's broken, and it signs there for 6 weeks or more because, we're having trouble getting a vendor to coming in and fix it. That's already been taken care of. Staff won't have to waste their time and put up with the aggravation of that. So we're going to award it under a leasing, and it also gives us, the bottom line, we get a tax advantage out of it as well when we write that off at the end of the year during our filing for taxes. So there's a lot of advantages here. So next week, we'll have this contract on. And I think we're hoping to get something maybe done by June with the vendor. We've had a lot of discussions on this, but in the last few weeks, we've been really having to rush some of the discussions for the simple reason of the tariff. A lot of this stuff comes from overseas. And unfortunately, the stability of the pricing is no longer guaranteed. So if you don't do it now, chances are you're going to be paying a lot more later on. So we wanted to get ahead of that. We don't want to pay more for what we can already get at a good price. We were able to get it negotiated pretty well down to a good price. So we're confident that this is the right way to go, and it'll keep the facility A1 safe and up to date. And there'll be a lot more machines in there. You'll see, right now, there's only one cross trainer in there. You will have two. We're going to upgrade all the treadmills. There'll be 6 brand new ones in there with all the latest technology that people are looking for on these machines. So that's just example of everything in the cardio room that I think people are going to really want to take advantage of. We'll be awarding that next week. All right, the last item I have here is the pool area painting and repairs. Um, as Matt said earlier, we have Biondo Construction and Vitia, is that how I say his last name?
Vetas.
Beta. Um, he's the painting contractor. Unfortunately, in getting the pool ready for opening, we found lots of problems. There's no surprise. A lot of the fencing that goes around the property, the gazebo that's on the top is totally rotted through. The roof is actually collapsing on that gazebo on the top. That's got to be totally replaced. Everything's going to have to be power washed. Some wood's got to be replaced on the railings, got to be refastened down. It's not safe enough. It's moving. So there's a number of things that need to be done, and it's got to be power washed. And when you power wash, you remove a lot of paint. So we have to have it painted. And I know for all the golfers who see that pool from the golf side, and one part of that building is not very attractive because it's really in not good shape. A lot of green stuff that was growing on it and peeling paint. That'll all be taken care of. That'll be made a lot more attractive, so it'll be more appealing to the golfers as well. So there's another story behind this. Number of years ago, for those who are in the community, if we're 5 years or more, you might recall hearing stories about the condition of the pool, that it was not in good shape, that we actually needed to replace the pool. We needed to, probably spend up to $2 million in replacing this pool. We did a number of interviews during conversations. One with the current person who's been taking care of the pool for the last close to 40 years. And I also knew the gentleman from when I was a councilman in East Brunswick. We built East Brunswick Crystal Springs. And his company maintained that for us while I was a councilman through the 1990s. So I got to know the gentleman fairly well. And we also have a management company that we bought in to manage the pool, the indoor pool. We'll take it. And they also do the lifeguards. They take care of the water. And they did a review on the condition of the pool. So we got a bill of health from 2 sources: the current person who's been taking care of the pool and the new company we bought in. And the condition of the pool is fine. We do not need to replace that pool. The pool is fine. There is some work that is going to need to be done in probably 2 years when we have enough capital money reserved, that we're going to do an upgrade of the coping, the tile work, probably sandblast off the current plaster that's inside the pool and put a whole new facer on it. That's probably going to run us somewhere around $300,000. I think that's something we might be able to handle. $2 million, we could not. So I just wanted you all to know that the pool's going to be open and ready for Memorial Day, and it'll be again next year. And after the second season, we're going to look at doing these capital improvements. But the story that you had about a $2 million pool being needed, not accurate, not by a far shot. So that's good news for us because we did not have that kind of money in the reserves. As you know, it was been depleted when we all came on board here, and we were dealing with these low reserves, trying to build them back up so we can get these capital improvements done and get them in place. And so we're working on that model, that we're going to keep trying to build it, do the improvements as we build up the reserves. But the $2 million, not happening, not needed. So that's really good news for the community. In saying that, with what's good with financial stuff, I'm going to go to the next item, which is item 8, which is the financial update. And Kathy, you have any news on that?
Course. We did receive our February financials. They are on the portal, and they should be on the portal. And if they're not there yet, they will be uploaded shortly. We are in good financial condition. It's very early in the year. I just also want to clarify the items under new business that we just spoke about, the condominium privacy fences, fence replacements, that will come out of our condo capital reserve, Whittingham Condo Capital Reserve. There are sufficient funds there that remained after we did the roofs. And we will be using the funds from there and replenish during the course of the year. The reconstruction of the pickleball and tennis courts also will come out of capital reserves from WOA. That's a WOA obligation. All amenities would be taken care of by WOA capital reserves. The 50B Winthrop lower roof replacement, also a condo capital reserve. The other items, clubhouse parking lot repairs, again, a WOA capital reserve. There is sufficient funds in our capital reserves to take care of these projects. And again, just to clarify, we will continue to rebuild, replenish the funds in those accounts. That's part of our finances, part of our maintenance fees. Everything else will come out of operating. So I just wanted everyone to be clear about where the funds come from. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. That brings us on to old business, which we have none. Next item is the open forum. If anyone in the room would like to come up to the podium, name and address for the record, and please come up front. Make sure the microphone is turned on. Yep, you got it.
Hi, my name is Tom Colligan. I live at 37 Whitehall Road,
Can you speak just a little closer to the microphone?
37 Whitehall Road.
Thank you.
So my house backs up to the retention basin. And there's big pine trees all surrounding that retention basin. The pine needles or pine straw just accumulates there. Since I've been living here almost 2 years, and it's there ever since, the branches from the pine trees hang low almost to the ground. It's a fire hazard. I mean, that lights up. My house is going, my neighbor, and probably 3 houses on Sherwood. Because now I don't see pine straw out on half acre under the pine trees. So somehow it gets cleaned up when they mow, but not back there. So I'd like for somebody to go take a look at it. You know, we're talking all this fire stuff and the burning now in South Jersey.
Mhm.
And I was talking to Bill, one of the maintenance guys here and I was showing him, and he said, well, you know, you need to go to the meeting and tell him, so I'm here. So I'd like somebody to go look. I don't see why the landscapers can't clean it up. They clean up the leaves. Well, this is leaves. It's just pine needles, you know, but there's a lot of it there. It's dry.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think it's dangerous.
All right, well, management is aware of it. We'll talk to MLS, who is the vendor that we use. Also, the Greenbrier, I'm not quite sure on the ownership of everything there, to be quite honest with you. The township may also have a role in here as well.
We'll take a look at it. We got
need
all
to
the
take a look at
information.
it, yeah,
Okay, yeah, ring
Yeah.
my bell if you know, when you're around. Thank you.
we'll look into it. Thank you.
I also have a Lance meeting on Wednesday, so I will discuss it with LMS, Matt. I'll bring it up on Wednesday.
Yeah, Susie's got it.
Great.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. I'm gonna get home and catch the Yankees tonight. Okay.
We, we,
Oh, Knicks. Okay. All righty. Well, seeing
We-
no one else, I'll close the public portion.
we,
Um,
we got a couple on Zoom, Tom, if you're,
Sure.
okay. Actually, Mike Laraya, asked about, what about the outside pool equipment, like the filter, the heater, everything else? That got pretty much a clean bill of health too when we met
Yes,
with
yes.
Aquatic.
I should have gone into more. The report that we got is over the years, most of that has been replaced. So that stuff that's there is relatively new. So we've made big investments over the years, upgrading and replacing a lot of the original stuff that was there, including the piping. So that's why I'm saying, as long as the walls of the pool were solid, there was no cracks in the pool, there's no leakage of the pool, there's no reason to replace the pool. So it's fine. So everything is good in that regard. So, yeah. So good swimming.
All right, we got one more. Can you, oh, there, perfect. Janine from 52A Rutland. This is a question for Kathy. I attended Kathy's budget meeting by Zoom and asked a question that went unanswered. When are roofs going to be done for remaining townhomes and condos? That's a loaded question.
I think I did answer it, though. I had talked about our Phase 3. We are anticipating starting Phase 3 of the roof replacements, if all goes well and we continue to replenish our finances or our capital reserve monies. We anticipate that that would start in 2 years. So we did the 2024, we did Phase 2, which carried over into 25, and we're just completing Phase 2. Phase 3, the next set of homes, will probably start late 2026 and go into 2027. That's what we anticipate.
Well,
Okay.
that's all we got on Zoom.
All right. Okay. Well, I will then entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Jay and second by Kathy. And thank you all for coming. We appreciate you coming. Thank you.